we had got some information last night from 10 to Life. And let me tell you, 10 to Life, she was pretty close, okay? It wasn't 100.
Oh, well, let's take a look and see how close she was.
This person shared some text screenshots with me that contain some pretty horrific details that not only we haven't heard before, but that make this case make a lot more sense. And I don't want to say the case itself and why this happened, but certain details we've heard along the way, it starts to kind of tie it all together a little bit more, for me at least.
Okay, let it be known that the text she is about to read does not tie anything together for me, at least. She says it does for her, it doesn't for me. And trigger warning.
I want to warn you, these details are graphic and very disturbing. Also, as always, do your own research because until this is officially tied back to the affidavit once it's released, it is all alleged at this point. But this message says, my sister's best friend from college is married to an FBI agent. He was one of the first FBI agents allowed at the scene in Moscow.
So basically a friend of a friend of a sister of a cousin of a friend of a cousin.
Apparently, the murderer's knife sheath was found under the body of Ethan.
Almost true, but not quite. The devil is in the details, guys.
Bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see two females in the single bed in the room. Both Kaylee and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. Also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewing from the door.
They were able to find DNA on the sheath and sent it to 23andMe.
It was not specified that the DNA found on the sheath was sent to 23andMe. That has not been confirmed.
A cousin of the killer, aka Brian, has done 23andMe, so they were able to somehow then link it to Brian.
On December 27, 2022, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from the Koberger family residence located in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. That evidence was sent to the Idaho State Lab for testing. On December 28, 2022, the Idaho State Lab reported that a DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of suspect profile. At least 99.9998% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father.
So, as I stated before, nowhere in this affidavit does it say that the DNA from the sheath was sent to 23andMe. No, it says the DNA taken from the sheath and the DNA taken from the trash was sent to the Idaho State Lab. Now, if the Idaho State Lab corresponded with 23andMe, that could be possible, but it was not stated in this affidavit.
They then tracked him to Pennsylvania, where he was home on winter break with family, and agents posed as garbage men and went through the family's garbage to find DNA and confirm the DNA match.
Okay, so we just went through this part about FBI agents or law enforcement agents posing as garbage truck drivers and taking the trash. Most of that is correct that they took the trash, but it's semantics. We don't know if they actually dressed up as garbage men to take the trash.
From the text message my sister received from the FBI agent, apparently it is one of the most gruesome crime scenes he's ever been a part of. Ethan's legs were sliced all the way down to the hamstrings. One of the girls was stabbed 54 times and beaten so badly that every bone in her face was broken and so sunken in that she was unrecognizable.
Now this infuriates me. Let me ask you this question, 10 to Life, Annie. Is it so important that you have information that others don't have? Is it so important that you get that information out there so that you can be proven right, if that is the case, that you would put the description of Ethan's injuries and one of the girls' injuries out there for the parents to stumble across? Does that seem normal? That's not normal fucking behavior. Your platform is way too big for you to be doing this. Now, whether this is true or not true, right or wrong, half right, half wrong, you know better. You know better than to be putting this shit out here. But you will do what you have to do to get those subs. You had like 450 some odd thousand subscribers when you made this video. After this video, you end up with 500 and some odd number 100,000 subscribers. You knew what you were doing.
Cops said that one of the girls in the basement who survived went by the staircase and she thought it was Ethan and yelled at him to shut the fuck up, but it was actually the killer. The killer then left after he saw her, but she didn't know it was him though at the time.
This is more information that could be true, could be false. It's rumors, it's hearsay. Now, what we do know from the affidavit is that Dylan, who was also on the second floor, did see Brian Kohberger.
Deanne stated she opened her door for the third time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. Deanne described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male.
Now, obviously, a lot to unload there.
There is a lot to unpack here, and it's because you made it that way. Given this rumor, speculation, supposedly cousin from a sister from a cousin, best friend's text message, it does have half truths in it, like you got it halfway right. But my point of this video is to point out the stuff that was half right and half wrong, as well as to point out that you know what you're doing by putting the injuries, the supposed injuries of Ethan and one of the other girls out there for everybody to hear. Not only everybody, but possibly the family members. Whether it's true or not true, they will be stuck with that image in their head because you put it there. So I have to ask this question to you. Is your increase of subscribers more important than the possibly false information that you were putting out there? Is it worth it? Let me know, girl, because honestly, I just think you need to shut the fuck up.